Hello, Steve White, TrekBoy89 for Steve Arts 89. I have a confession. I bought Strange New Worlds Season 1 on Blu-ray. This is the first new Trek series I've bought on Blu-ray and or DVD. I had sworn I would not buy any. I was basically boycotting the series Star Trek until they actually started producing something that resembled Star Trek. So I didn't buy Discovery Season 1 to 4 or Picard 1 to 2 or any of the animated shows, but I actually wanted to watch this with, quality. I've been watching it on my computer, not through Paramount Plus, of course, and quality wasn't great, and it did take away from the enjoyment of it. Now, I will say I do have issues with this show. There's canon issues. It's a reboot. If they acknowledged it was a reboot, it would be okay. The fact they keep trying to insist that it's the same universe just makes it incompatible with the rest of the series, and watching it like that, it just makes it really difficult. So there's that issue. But it's not the only piece of Star Trek merchandise I've bought. I have more confessions. I bought the Discovery Annual, which was about Anthony Rapp's character. I've forgotten his name. I can't remember. Can't believe I can't remember his name. The Captain Saru comic, because I actually like the character. He actually feels like a Star Trek character. I may even buy a figure of him one day because I like the character. And I also bought this Making of Discovery. Why? Because I liked most of the production. Aside from the lighting, and of course the stupid Klingon makeup, had there been other aliens, they would have been great. The design is great. The costumes were amazing. I loved the phaser. I want the phaser. I bought the badge because I thought the badges looked nice. I think the phasers look great. I think the design is great. I'm not going to hate every aspect of the show just because there are issues with the show. So yes, I bought those, although I think I might have bought that before I actually saw the show. So I hadn't made my my declaration of boycotting the show at that point. I can't remember. But yes, so there's a couple of issues. Number one, the image that I saw of this, it had a slipcover, and it doesn't. So I'm a bit confused whether mine just wasn't included or if they didn't include them in other releases in other countries. So if you have this in another country and you've got a slipcase, feel free to let me know. That makes it very difficult to display because all my DVDs now are either box sets or slipcases or steelbooks or tins. None of them are just DVDs on the shelf, so I'm not quite sure how I'm going to display this now. I didn't want to get the steelbook because then I am committing myself to buying the whole series in steelbooks and always having to display them. And I can just put these discs in my disc holders before my other discs and just put the sleeve in with my other sleeves and the folios, and I actually have it out. So that's one option. I actually have all my Star Trek Blu-rays in, I don't know if you can see in the back, I've got some like vintage lunch boxes, and they're just full of DVDs. So all my original Star Trek Blu-rays and my Next Generation Blu-rays are all in those, so I can just grab them when I need, but they're not like on the shelf looking messy. So so that's one issue. The other issue is they said very clearly that, like the other releases, the episode names are on the discs. So there's no inside art, which is disappointing, of course. There's no lists of menus of what is on the discs, and the episodes are not listed on the discs. And I have seen these on other discs because I have gotten the other series out from the library and watched them that way, so I didn't actually pay to see them. They didn't get any of my money until now for any of these shows. And I did like Strange New Worlds for the most part. I liked the tone, I liked the characters, I liked the production design, but they could have just did their show separate from Discovery and just said that's their business, this is our show. But they had to immediately establish that it took place in the Discovery universe and connect the two, and keep pushing that inconsistency between the original universe and the Discovery universe that this is set in, and that it's a reboot, but then deny it's a reboot, which is just insulting and frustrating to Star Trek fans who are older than 20. So a couple of issues, no slipcase, no episode titles and content listed on the disc, no inside art. The picture looks good. The special features are decent. I mean, I haven't watched all of them yet. I've just watched some of them. There's Pike's Peak, which is 17 minutes. World Building, which is 12 minutes. And then there's the big one, Exploring New Worlds, which is 53 minutes. There's a commentary with Anson Mountain and Akiva Goldsman on the first episode. Deleted scenes for 5 episodes and a gag reel. So decent content. The design is nice. The steelbook had the picture of Pike on the horse with the Enterprise sort of in the sunset sort of thing, and I didn't get that because I didn't want to commit to steelbooks, and they did that with all the other shows. I mean, like I said I wouldn't buy any Star Trek, to boycott it. I didn't want to support it, but now Discovery has ended. I did sort of say to myself, when the show's over, and you're not going to contribute to it being renewed, you can buy the whole series on Blu-ray, so you can watch the episodes, the ones you actually like superficially, because sometimes I just watch shows for the effects and for the production design. I'm an artist. I sometimes just like to look at things, and some of the production design on the show was beautiful when it was lit, at least. So I will eventually, I'd love it if they did a 5-season box set at the end of it all, so I just buy it in one go and just not have it take up a lot of room. So that will happen, but I sort of said I'm not paying anything until the show's cancelled, so I'm not contributing to it actually being renewed or anything. But so I just wanted to make that little confession and do a little DVD review, Blu-ray review, because a little disappointed in those 2 elements, but the rest is fine. The menus are easy to use. They look nice. The first disc has trailers. It goes automatically to the trailers. The first one is Discovery, and the other 2 have nothing to do with Star Trek. And I'm like, really? Do I have to skip through these every time I put this first disc on for the rest of my viewing life? So there's 3 issues with it. And there's my review. So feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. And I probably will buy a Strange New World costume because I do like them. I never liked the ones from Discovery. When they changed them to the colour, I thought maybe I'll get one eventually because it kind of okay, but it never really worked. The new ones are nicer because I don't hate the show. I don't hate the new Trek shows just because they exist. Like, there are people who hate them because of their political issues, their agendas, their issues with diversity and representation. I don't have any of those issues. I support all those things. I don't support the patriarchy. I don't oppose the idea of emotionalism, having characters have emotions, and have that be part of working in Starfleet. The idea that the only sort of way to operate in Starfleet is to treat it like a military that's male-driven and based on the male ideas of not having any emotions, and so for all these it's all the patriarchal crap. I don't buy into any of that. I don't have any issue with any of that stuff in Discovery or Strange New Worlds or any of the other Star Trek shows. My issues are with canon, with them lying about it being an alternative universe, alternative license. Just, it's insulting to fans to try and do that, to try and fool us into watching a show by telling us it's something that's not. And then, doing all these things that contradict and then telling us that we're not seeing what we're seeing and it's something other than it is. That's what bothers me. That and, changing characters, although if you admit it's a reboot, it doesn't matter if you make, Captain April black. But we all know he wasn't black in that universe. So it doesn't work. Just like Commander Kyle wasn't Asian in the original series and they changed him to Asian in this. So it's clearly another universe. Acknowledge that and market it. Actually, I'm sure they'd do better if they marketed these shows as a reboot of Star Trek for the people who didn't like the original Star Trek. They'd do better than trying to convince the people who love the original Star Trek that this is the same universe. I don't know why they keep doing it. I guess they just have to dig their heels in and keep going. Otherwise, they'd have to admit, yeah, we lied. We tried to we tried to trick you, we tried to manipulate you and get you to buy something, buy a product that wasn't what, you know, we presented it as. But at this point, you know, that didn't work and isn't working. They need to just admit what it is, market it for what it is, and actually, you know, just focus on that. But that's my review and my confession. I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Thanks. Bye.